Hello, everybody. Welcome to this podcast. Later on, we'll be joined by my friend and colleague, thought leader, philosopher, Mustafa Sasmaz. And part of this Mastering the Mind series, we take a deep dive into all matters to do with the mind. And what we thought we'd do today in this particular segment is talk about the role of your subconscious mind in your everyday life. Okay, so I'm going to just give a short description of the subconscious mind and how it is connected and how it's different to the conscious mind. Then I'm going to give 4 strategies on how you can actually make the most of your subconscious mind so you can get the best out of your life every single day. Okay, so the subconscious mind is something that has a huge effect on every action, but it's constantly overlooked. So instead, the focus is often on our conscious mind, which contains critical thought function of our brains. So the subconscious mind is a powerful layer underneath that. It encompasses the awareness of all things the conscious mind cannot recognize. And once the subconscious mind is tapped into, this remarkable part of the brain plays many different roles in our everyday life. And if you can liken the mind as an iceberg, in terms of you've got the bit which is submerged underneath the water, and then you've also got the part of the iceberg which actually is above the water. Now, what's above the water, what you see there, that's the conscious mind. So things like words, gestures, tonality, all these things, you can hear them and you can experience them because that's obviously something that our conscious mind is actually allowing. It's allowing all this information to come in. So when you look at what's underneath the conscious mind, then you've got underneath what's submerged that we can't ordinarily see are things like beliefs, things like prejudices, biases, um, notions that people have, ideas that we don't really know because it's there in the subconscious mind. But it's only when we use language to be able to communicate what's in our subconscious mind, then we know that this person has this belief or this viewpoint, or they're orientated towards this dimension or that. So both work together really well. But what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to just give you 4 strategies. Well, four ways rather how the subconscious mind works in to help you to actually to work with you on a day by day basis. Now, number one, the subconscious mind is the memory bank. So your subconscious mind is like a huge memory bank. Its capacity is virtually unlimited. It permanently stores everything that ever happens to you. By the time you reach the age of 21, you've already permanently stored more than 100 times the content of the entire Encyclopedia Britannica. So I'm 51 now, so you can imagine how many hundreds of times my own subconscious mind is full of information, full of data, full of intelligence. And under hypnosis, older people can often remember with perfect clarity events from, say, 50 years before because your unconscious memory is virtually perfect and it's your conscious recall that is suspect. And this also brings me on to the dimension between absolute truth and relative truth because sometimes when something is an absolute truth, it's a hardcore fact. It's a reality. You know, we can sometimes store it in a part of our subconscious mind, and we just leave it there. But then when something is triggered, then it comes out. But then when it's not triggered, we just may just kind of surface over it, put lip service to it, give it a relative kind of understanding, but not the real understanding of exactly what is the issue. So I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. So what I do with my clients is, and I use a particular affirmations when the client is under some kind of a semi-sleep trance-like state, and I then put across suggestions to the subconscious mind for it try to get into the absolute truth and try to understand it and try to work with it and trying to move forward, because it could be that thing that is keeping them stuck, which is why they smoke too much, why they drink too much, why they've got addiction to food, or they always have relationship issues, and there could be things deep seated that actually need to come out. And so this is where the absolute truth is critical. And this is where, understanding that your subconscious mind is the memory bank. This is where things are all stored. And sometimes those files, they need to come out from the hard drive into the software for it to be manipulated. So its job is to ensure that you respond exactly the way you are programmed. Your subconscious mind makes everything you say and do fit a pattern consistent with your self-concept. This is your master program. Now, I'm an NLP practitioner, so one of the things that I do with my clients is, depending on the situation, using the power of language to use affirmations or different techniques like anchoring, meta model, pacing and leading, etc., for them to be able to begin to examine their beliefs and then maybe even change them, so they can start thinking differently and then start having different actions and not doing the things that don't serve them very well, because we're helping them to reprogram. Okay, so memory banks can also be reprogrammed as well. Number two, the subconscious mind is the unquestioning servant. So your subconscious mind is subjective. It does not think or reason independently. It merely obeys the commands it receives from your conscious mind. So your conscious mind can be thought of as the gardener, planting seeds. Your subconscious mind can be thought of as the garden, or a fertile soil in which the seeds actually germinate and grow. So the garden is there, and it's up to us what we do with it. But if we're putting in positive thoughts, positive beliefs, then that's obviously going to bear some really good fruit. But if we're planting negative seeds, or they're being planted inside us, then we're making the actual subconscious mind work the other way. So it's up to us whether we want flowers or we want weeds. Okay, it's really what if you can see your subconscious mind as a garden, whatever you plant in there is going to grow, it's going to germinate. So this is why I'm saying that the subconscious mind is actually an unquestioning servant. It works day and night to make your behavior fit a pattern consistent with your emotional thoughts, your hopes and desires, essentially your self-concept, or what you regard as being your identity. Okay? Now, the third one is the subconscious mind is the preserver of balance. Okay? So this is how it connects with the chemical aspects and the physiology of your body. So your subconscious mind has what is called a homeostatic impulse. It keeps your body temperature at 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. It keeps you breathing regularly and keeps your heart beating at a certain rate. Through your autonomic nervous system, it maintains a balance among the hundreds of chemicals in your billions of cells. Your entire physical machine functions in complete harmony most of the time. So your subconscious mind always practices homeostasis in your mental realm. It keeps you thinking and acting in a manner consistent with what you have done and said in the past. Okay? So this is how the subconscious mind can be the preserver of balance. So you keep things in check. And also that this is related to the third point. Number 4, the subconscious mind is the comfort zone. So all of your habits or thinking and acting are stored in your subconscious mind. It has memorized all your comfort zones and it works to keep you in them. Your subconscious mind causes you to feel emotionally and physically uncomfortable, and whenever you attempt to do something different or new, then it makes you feel a bit anxious, a bit fearful about things because it's different, okay? And its job is to keep you safe. So it goes against changing any of your established patterns of behavior. If you feel that your subconscious is pulling you towards your comfort zone each time, then obviously it's trying to protect you. It's putting affirmations in your head. You shouldn't do this it's too dangerous, it's risky, it costs too much money, etc., etc. One of the biggest habits of successful men and women is always stretching themselves or pushing themselves out of their comfort zones to learn new skills or to be able to gain new knowledge or to maybe have a new mindset or to be able to change their patterns of behavior or change their self-concept for the better for themselves, their families, their businesses, their employers, etc. And they are very aware of how quickly the comfort zone in any area becomes, can get them in a rut. So if somebody is in a rut, it's because they're just, for some reason, they're just in this comfort zone and they're not venturing out. There could be very good reasons why people want to be in a comfort zone, because they're just too fearful to step out. They're lacking in confidence, resilience. Maybe there's some other issues going on. And sometimes it's good to just feel the sense of comfort. And yes, I'd probably say about 12, 13 weeks ago when we started to have the national lockdown here in the UK, and we all, the house, our home is our comfort zone. We're not venturing out. We can't venture out, or we can only venture out for essentials or medical supplies, etc., like food. So comfort zone, it does help. It does help us, but then again, it can also help us to use our ingenuity, innovation, sense of creativity for us to be able to think outside the box. And the subconscious mind can also help us to do that. Like I said, it's our unquestioning servant. So with those four things, it's so important to be able to tap into the subconscious. Now, in this next segment, my colleague Mustafa will be joining us in the podcast. He would have listened to this content, and now he's going to respond to the information, and then we're going to have a much more broader discussion as to how we want to pursue this subject even further. Okay, then. So Mustafa. So tell me then. I've just done a presentation now on the subconscious mind. We've talked about it being a memory bank, it being a servant, the preserver of balance, and also how it helps to keep you in your comfort zone. And it's the main memory bank that then helps people to then have things like belief systems or have biases or prejudices. So can you tell me briefly then your thoughts on what I've just mentioned there?
Yes. Are we on? Is recording on?
Yeah.
Recording is on.
Yes, it is. Yes.
I would think if we contextualize conscious, subconscious, and unconscious in real life situations, the audience will get more out of the talking points. I think we need not one life situation, but a number of episodes, like one-on-one, one person to another, and by which we understand how unconscious, subconscious, and conscious collaborating.
Yeah.
Then person and group.
Yeah.
One positive life experience, one negative life experience, one neutral life experience. Any episode, anything.
Yeah.
In this context, if we try to explore the role of subconscious in relation to unconscious and conscious, we then I think be able to create a really powerful.
Yeah, it's a really good idea, because obviously from my presentation, I drew a distinction between conscious and subconscious and the power of the subconscious. So if I can just put some examples to you, for example, how people can use their subconscious mind for work or
Yes.
looking for a job or starting a business or parenting.
Yes.
Or maybe coping with their fears and anxieties, or how they can manage the transition back, for their children back into schooling. So are you saying that these kind of examples would probably be
Absolutely,
the way that
absolutely.
probably
Yes.
do further segments about?
Yes.
I totally agree with you. It's a
Yeah.
really good idea.
Also,
Very good idea.
let's in work situation like subordinate and supervisor,
Yeah.
parent and children.
Yes.
Uh, if we create content in
Yeah.
such context, then really, it is going to be a very good teaching
Yes. Yes.
mechanism
That's
we
a
will have.
really good idea. I think we should do a whole series segment on contextualizing the subconscious mind so people can then start to use it. And there's so many, when I think about my work as a coach, it's because people are not understanding the subconscious mind and its power to explain why they behave the way they behave, why they've done the things they've done, and not being mindful about that. And it's something that is very, very powerful, and if we can harness it, we can virtually do anything that's going to be give us a better, happier life, just have a blissful
Yes,
life.
yes, yes.
you
If
know
you if
we
if
should
you
do
are in
good
control
idea.
of your unconscious and
Yeah.
your subconscious, then really it can lead to happier life because you understand what are the motors in you,
Yes.
how they are performing.
Yeah.
You
can i
know,
ask can I ask you a question, because I gave an example about
yes,
the conscious mind is the gardener planting the seeds, and then the subconscious is the garden. So can I ask you, are you planting any seeds at the moment in your garden?
yes, absolutely, yes. I am.
As a
I would like
contextual
to.
example.
Yes, because I understand now the role of subconscious, how it performs as a gatekeeper for the orders from conscious
Mm,
going to the unconscious,
mm,
and how subconscious is operating there, how it's managing.
mm,
Then I think to myself, my present moment of awareness of my surroundings.
mm,
If I am procrastinating, if I am thinking, well, I'll do it later, etc., and immediately I confront my own thought. I say, why are you saying this?
mm,
What is the real reason behind? Go and knock the door of,
mm,
ask the subconscious, go to the unconscious,
mm,
and ask what is stored there. Why is it making me think like this?
mm,
Then yeah, and I said no. The thing I should be doing is action
mm,
rather than oh well, etc.
mm. Yeah, yeah,
Delay. Yeah.
yeah,
So
fantastic.
this is my way of explaining how I put the seeds in.
Excellent, really good. I think you're right. We need to put in lots more examples for the viewers, so they can then start to then right. Is that why I've done what I've done, or is that what I need to do, or this is how I need to use it? And obviously, there are things like meditation that can help you to then start to work with your subconscious mind. That's why meditation is very underestimated. It's so powerful. You can use it to then empower and to instruct your subconscious mind. It is your servant. You can get it to do different things.
Definitely, yes.
It's all about what you constantly feed it. Okay,
Well,
Mustafa,
I'm gonna
the fact
I'm
that
gonna I'm gonna send you later on
yeah, yeah,
a short email as well as philosophy. I will make suggestions about making this podcast
yes,
how maybe a bit more structured.
yeah. No, that's
You know,
fine. That's okay. I mean, this is the beauty behind doing podcasts like this, that if ideas emerge in the podcast,
yeah.
then they definitely need to be discussed, and then we
The
can.
ideas you are giving me is really making me think how much your content made if better. Basically, this is the purpose of our communication and getting together. How we can make this better. And
Yeah,
as you speak, I learn as well.
yeah,
I learned three things. One is about unconscious, subconscious,
mm,
the four ways you have given.
mm.
Uh, and secondly, I silently think how best this content can be structured,
Yeah, sure.
made more interesting to the audience.
Sure, we can all improve.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
No, but
yes.
I'm so glad we've entertained a really important subject, and there are lots of things. So Mustafa, I know that with time is now getting short, so I know you need to move on to your next appointment, and so do I. So thank you so much indeed for all of your insights, and to the viewers, thank you for watching. This is obviously a live broadcast, so we'd welcome any comments from anybody. So just use the comments box, and then if you want to contact myself or Mustafa, then the contact details are in the description box. And please, if you like this content and you want to see future videos, then please do subscribe to the channel, Life Genius channel, and then obviously click the notification bell, so then you will then receive the videos more or less immediately once they're published. Okay, thank you, Mustafa. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you.
Thank you